seen the numbers, 21 long balls in the season. Very effective so far this weekend.
Yeah, leadership in that 3 spot, but yeah, so effective. 4 for 8, 2 home runs, and again, 2 home runs in moments that have been later in the game. She finds a way to get on time, make adjustments, and then really send that ball over the fence. And again, just great leadership as a senior in this lineup. Brings the energy as well.
Elise Sokolsky gets the start, the sophomore in the circle, and Arkansas native and second team all Pac-12. We've seen her in 2 games previous to this one, but now a starter again.
Yeah, I think she's done a good job here in this regional. 66 Ks on the year. Not a huge strikeout pitcher, but will get the job done occasionally when she needs to. With those Ks, just 3 so far in this regional.
Oregon has been designated the home team in this game. The Sooners at home, technically the visitors, but they maintain their home dugout for this matchup. Underway at Loves Field, and a first pitch strike from Sokolsky. Now temperatures approaching 90 degrees today. Coleman serves it into center field, and a good start for OU.
You see the energy there from Coleman, and you're right, a great start for OU. Usually patient so far this regional, but Coleman sees a pitch on the corner and sends it back up the middle, putting a ball in play. A good hit to really set the tone here in the leadoff position, a leadoff hit for OU.
Ella Parker takes high with the rise ball. Amazing when you look at the Sooners and the top 3 in the order in this regional. Hitting well north of 500 before that single by Coleman, exactly 523, 11 hits in 21 official plate appearances.
And hitting early on in the count is Coleman. If I have one criticism, if any, to this OU lineup, which again, they've been hitting great, it's that it's kind of come a little bit later. Attacking early here is Coleman. If that is what they're looking to do this game, it could be a different game today.
Coleman took off, then quickly retreated. 2 balls and a strike to Parker. Yeah, against Oregon. That first matchup yesterday. 6 for 12 with 5 driven in and 6 runs. Parker into right field. Coleman digs for third. Here comes the throw. It is offline. That'll put Ella Parker at second.
And jumping on Sokolsky again. Ella Parker turning on this pitch and driving it right past the first baseman, Daniel, all the way out to Wong. And you see the speed that Coleman has. She's able to get all the way to third base. Bird had to kind of come off third base. That throw could have been overthrown, but 2 in scoring position, no outs. Maybe a little bit of jitters for this Oregon Duck defense. And for Sokolsky there in the circle, Melissa Lombardi coming out to talk already. This is an Oklahoma offense that if you let them in, it can get out of hand quickly. And there's a lot of game left. Hard to get behind here in the first inning.
Already activity in the Oregon bullpen as we saw Stevie Hansen, Reggie Breedlove race down just in case. Jennings has nearly 100 home runs in her Oklahoma career. And she took Sokolsky deep just 24 hours ago, Jenny.
Yeah, this is a pitch kind of elevated and then out of the park. This was again later in the game when Sokolsky came in relief. Attacking early on in the count When you see a pitcher for the second time, you know what to expect. I think something that Oklahoma does so well is by the time they've seen a couple pitches from a pitcher, they know what pitch to sit on. They know what pitch they want to swing at. And when they see it, they go and they attack it. They don't get cheated. That's what makes them good hitters.
A very loud second strike. Jennings, a senior, 2 homers already this weekend. First team all Big 12, no surprise. Meeting yesterday was the first between these two since 2018. Pretty big moment early. Jennings strikes out, and Sokolsky, well, she had something to say. Drifting towards home plate.
A big time pitch there for Sokolsky. Especially having the guts to throw it, because the rise ball is a pitch that Jennings sent out of the park yesterday. Gets her on it today. Better movement, and that's why Sokolsky is fired up there. Huge strikeout with runners on base.
Cassidy Pickering takes the rise out of the zone. 387 on the season, 9 home runs. Very bright future in front of her. Talented freshman from Texas. A moment like that, you wonder if that has the ability to settle things down for Sokolsky in the circle. Problem is, you've got more big bats. Headed up next. Fly ball left field. Ballpark will hold it. Luchar makes the grab. Deep enough for the sac fly. It's 1-0 OU.
Pickering has been productive at the plate all weekend long. Look how far Luchar had to travel to get this ball deep enough for Coleman to score. Tags up on this play, but good speed by Luchar out there. At one point, looked like it might have dropped. Second out, but again, productive for OU to get themselves on the board.
The Oregon transfer, Alyssa Brito, now a senior, California native. Productive weekend so far for her. 2-0. Ella Parker remains at second, high and tight. 3 balls and no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk. First free pass issued by Sokolsky. Oklahoma now with runners at first and second. The hard-hitting catcher, Kinsey Hansen.
And 4 straight pitches there to Brito. When you get 2 outs, again, Pickering's hit out to the outfield. Again, pop fly, sac fly out to the outfield was a hard hit ball. Despite the fact that it was an out, it was still squared up well. Sokolsky may be thinking about missing the zone a little bit more, not wanting another good hitter to square up on a pitch. The runner in scoring position. Now 5 balls in a row here.
You see the flags. Winds are gusting as high as 30 miles an hour in this game, and they should persist throughout. Rise ball high, 2-0. And it is shifted from straight out of this facility more towards right field. Basically anything hit with some pop has a chance to leave the ballpark, and that will be a factor throughout.
And Sokolsky called time herself on that one. 6 balls in a row. Just missing the zone too much. OU, a very, very patient team. Does not swing at something too far out of the zone. You've got to bring it close enough to the zone to get them to swing. Those pitches just missing entirely too much. If you want Oklahoma to miss hit, it's got to be around that zone or in that zone.
Hansen had the massive moment last year against Clemson. Walks on 4 straight here. Back-to-back walks from Sokolsky. And here comes this crowd now with the bases loaded for Riley Boone.
What a perfect time to move Riley Boone up in the lineup, then to load the bases and have her come up. Riley Boone, who typically lives in that 9 spot, has been moved up today in the lineup. Gosh, how it works out to have bases loaded for her here.
Boone, the senior, on the outer edge for strike 1. Like you and I were talking yesterday, just putting our coaching hats on for a minute, more you than me, but I suggested, hey, Boone, Sinicki, I would move both of those players up in the order. Fly ball center field. This will be playable for Ariel Carlson. And the threat is retired, but the sac fly off the bat of Cassidy Pickering. OU strikes first and also strands 3 in the process. In Oklahoma, bottom of the 1st inning coming up as we take a look. The Oregon Ducks starting lineup presented by Capital One. Valerie Wong, impressive this weekend, 5 for 9, a couple of extra base hits, including a home run.
Yeah, and not only that, she just seemed to be in the mix of every moment that included run production. And to be there in that 4th spot and to produce in any way possible, that's important in this lineup. You have to find a way to produce in a leadership role. This is an offense that needs to be able to make that happen here, and it has to happen early. This is a team that produces runs early. They need to find a way to do that here.
Nicole May in the circle. She has plenty of NCAA tournament experience, 9-2 with the record, and we've seen her this weekend also impressive, but not Kelly Maxwell. File that away, and we will see if that becomes a factor at some point this afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit of surprise for me on that. I expected to see Maxwell, but May has had a successful weekend so far. She's obviously part of a very good staff. No doubt somebody that Patty Gasso believes can get it done, and again has had some success this weekend as well. So a little bit of a different look here for the Ducks. Maxwell again through the first game against the Ducks as well.
Kylie Shar leads it off. First pitch strike. How big is it for Oregon to bounce back right away after giving up that early run? I mean, it seems obvious. Luchar fouls that one away.
It was huge that they got out of that inning bases loaded with just 1 run scored, and really on a sac fly. It wasn't a big hit. It was nothing that they could really build a ton of momentum on. OU obviously builds momentum on a lot of things and celebrates little. Take a look at this defense. This is something that we talk about a lot with Kylie Shar, but the way the outfield shifts, the infield brings an outfielder in, 5 infielders. Success when they faced Kylie Shar last time with Jennings kind of in the 5-6 hole there. The last time they faced Kylie Shar, 2 line drives that went straight to Jennings.
So the infield comes this far in. She's trying to bounce it over with a hard hop perhaps and just chop it into the outfield. Would that be one way?
Looking to either drop it over this shallow infield or have a high bouncer that she can beat out anyway. You saw her unsuccessful in that scenario, that she kind of just hit it too hard and lined it straight to Jennings, but she's trying to use the ground, bounce it. If the higher the bounce, the more time she has to beat it out. That's her first step, but this is something that Luchar is obviously familiar with. It's not something that she feels more pressure on.
It's amazing There is no one in right field. Anything hit in that direction, she's going to score. Spray chart tells you that's likely not to happen. And a strikeout for May. Luchar goes down swinging.
Well, Nicole May, her movement is just very good. That's why she can get some strikeouts. Her changeup is what she throws often. Her rise ball with elite movement. And then she brings that screwball in. Also has a drop ball, but can bring the screwball in as well. Just great movement. There's the screwball. And she got Kai Luchar on. You can make your pitches move in the strike zone and move them further out. You become that much more successful as a pitcher. Nicole May as well. Her changeup, she's bringing in the zone and delivering almost a third of the time. You change the speeds, make the ball move. You keep your timing off on your batters. You make them miss hit. Makes you more successful.
First team all Pac-12 in center field, Ariel Carlson. Just grabbed a piece.
And Carlson, the one hit off Maxwell yesterday.
And that was it, right?
That was it.
That was the only hit that Dunn secured off of her.
Run. She got all of it right over the fence. And you can see immediately just on May the movement that she has that's even making Carlson kind of second guess which pitches she wants to even take her hacks at. Balance of spin and movement and also speed.
4 for 10 this weekend. Homer, 2 doubles, setting a new Oregon record for extra base hits in the process. Senior from Eugene. Damaris High School. Taps it foul.
We talked about the necessity of Oregon scoring early. It's because Nicole May gives up 17 runs out of 29 in the first 2 innings. That's 59% of the runs she's given up has been in the first 2 innings that she pitches. Oregon, on the other hand, scores a majority of their runs. Excuse me, their most productive inning has been this second inning. 38% of their runs scored in the first 2 innings.
I feel like you're painting a picture of a Venn diagram, and somewhere in the middle, Oregon has the highest percentage chance to score a run or 2. Now a full count.
You got to jump on Nicole May early in the circle, whether it's settling in or whatever it may be, the pitches that she chooses to deliver, whether it's the changeup, not throwing it as much early on in the first couple innings. You've got to attack early on, early pitches. If statistics show that she gives up the most amount of runs in, you've got to attack.
Payoff pitch is fouled off. Important to note with this full count, the Sooners have not issued a single walk in this regional. That's how dominant the pitching has been. Run rule victory against Cleveland State. 6-3 win against Oregon yesterday. No walks.
They also haven't given up an error. So when they're not giving up free passes, they're not giving up errors. You've got to earn it. You've got to put your bat on the ball.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Nicole May. And a good start in the circle for the Sooners.
Yeah, a great start for May here. Good movement. That changeup low in the zone. Gets Carlson chasing for it. It's a pitch that starts out of the zone and drops lower, but Carlson cannot lay off of it. 2 straight strikeouts, a good start.
And McCow, right field, fighting the sunshine. And Boone makes the grab. Oklahoma off and running in this regional final. Oklahoma an early 1-0 advantage. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott Top of the second inning, we take a look at our storylines. In case you missed the memo, late last night, Auburn, a 12-inning thriller. Manny Pinta threw about 450 pitches yesterday. Not really, it's closer to 250. Oklahoma fans disregard the bottom of the screen. Congrats to Texas. What else has caught your attention so far, Jenny?
Wow, you know what? I don't know, all of it. I think Auburn, the fact that Auburn has to show up around 12 hours later and go try to win two, I think that's hard. That's really hard. Miami of Ohio, the fact that they've been shut out with the kind of bats they had, that was crazy.
I mean, they led the country in home runs and basically were shut out in 2 games.
Yes.
Nobody could have predicted that.
I know, it's crazy.
Patty Gasso, year number 30, the Hall of Fame head coach for the Sooners. Big moment for her this season, trying for the four-peat. Over 1,500 career wins. That is third most all time.
Got a couple seeded teams having to win 2 today. Try to make it happen. Omaha, obviously one of the bigger upset teams. Missouri having to win 2 against them.
Liberty's win last night against Georgia, and now Georgia returning the favor so far today.
Louisiana fighting from behind.
Sydney Sanders. Nothing in 2. Started her career at Arizona State. Member of the Pac-12 all-freshman team. 1 year there before coming to OU in time for last season. Dad played minor league baseball for a couple of seasons. Over to Bird at third and in time for out number 1.
Much better attack of Sydney Sanders getting ahead in the count. Sokolsky. And then a weaker hit on Sydney Sanders. Then you saw on kind of the top of this lineup where you saw some harder hits. Maybe settling in a little bit is Sokolsky. I think the hard part about that is that you are going to face the top of this lineup here in the second inning. The more the Sooners get on base, the more you have to face the top of the lineup.
Ball to strike to Avery Hodge. Seen her at second base this weekend. Jada Coleman in the on-deck circle. As a pitcher, Michigan, when you won the national championship back in '05, you got a big bat in the on-deck circle. You know who's coming up. How much does that mean to you in that moment against the current batter? Just curious.
Well, when you're at the bottom of the lineup like this, you've got to work to get the outs, right? You have to have kind of in the back of your mind, you have to know who you've got to get out, like who the must wins are, if you will. Now, OU has a strong lineup 1 through 9. I think that's something that as a pitcher, you know you can't take a batter off. But at the same time, you do have to know where the must wins are. And when you do get to the bottom of the lineup here, you have to get those out.
Those are the must wins.
Absolutely. Here, Sanders, Hodge, bottom of the lineup here. When you've got Coleman and Parker and Jennings, who have really been seeing the ball well, Pickering, you've got to get Sanders and Hodge out here. So far, so good with Sanders. Head of the count here with Hodge. Must wins. Absolutely.
Rip foul. This crowd a little edgier than yesterday against this same team, I think. Every pitch, every swing. Gasp, oohs, ahs. They know what's at stake in the first ever postseason games in this incredible facility. Now 80 days old. Good battle.
Hodge is doing a good job working the count. And that's what you have to do. Again, OU so patient. I say it a lot because I think discipline in a batter is so important. If you can work the count and have a good battle at the plate, even if you don't win it, your success over time is going to be better. And I think that's something that Patty Gasso talks a lot about. And I talked about it, I think, in one of the other games, that Alyssa Brito had a bases loaded strikeout, but she worked the count. And Patty Gasso talked about it being a really, really good quality at bat because it'll pay off in the long term.
In and out of the glove, and down is Calv. And that sounded a bit different from where we sit in our broadcast position.
Yeah, Emma Calv went down fast. Having to shake that one off.
Missy Lombardi out to check on her starting catcher. Fifth-year player from Lincoln, Nebraska, came in from Georgia Tech, and she is good to go. And a smile to boot. About that grit, that toughness. That went right off of her leg.
And just tipping the bat. Ooh, right on the upper part of the thigh. No padding there. Took a second. Deep breath. Back in there. She'll be feeling that one later.
Five pitches with 2 strikes have been fouled off now by Hodge. How about Omaha and Mizzou scoreless in the 6th inning in Columbia, a game that the Tigers absolutely have to have. "12 pitches into this at-bat. Got to be absolutely just deep fried wearing that outfit, the Sooners mascot today. Just saying.
He looks happy.
He does look happy.
Phenomenal battle here. Phenomenal battle. And even, again, you talk about this being a quality at bat, you can check that box regardless of the outcome, because even if Avery Hodge strikes out at this point, how much fatigue are you putting in Elise Sokolsky? The amount of pitches she had to throw.
And that hit her. That hit her. Look at Hodge.
Well done. Well done by Avery Hodge. And I'm team pitcher in a lot of ways, but in this case, to me, when you can put that battle in there, in that 9 spot, and really find a way to get on base after all of that, that's huge. That's huge. You're turning the lineup over in a 9 position. And again, normally Riley Boone's in that 9 position. And that job in that 9 spot is just to turn the lineup over to me. And that's a tall order sometimes.
Oklahoma,
well done.
Jenny, saw 40 pitches first time through the lineup. And here comes Jada Coleman. Led the game off with a single, scored on a sac fly from Cassidy Pickering. Served into right center field. Hodge rounding second's going to be waved home. Throw comes into second base. It's 2-0 OU.
And I go back to the well-earned battle of Avery Hodge. Gets herself on base because when Jada Coleman matches the hit she got in the first inning, almost identically drives it back through the gap, a line drive back through the right center gap. She's able to score. Avery Hodge now gets herself an RBI. Where if Avery Hodge does not battle the way she did, that's just a stand-up double.
And that will send Elise Sikowski out of this game. And the new Oregon pitcher will be Taylor Spencer. As we step aside for a moment, Oklahoma 2-0 lead here in the top of the second.
Yeah, Spencer is just a freshman getting an opportunity here in the circle. Again, an Oregon pitching staff that at a lot of times during the season uses all of them. 22K on the year, 27 appearances. She's only thrown 62 innings. She'll go left, right, up. Has an off speed as well. Looking for a change. I think it makes sense. You might just have to see with this OU offense that this Oregon pitching staff, one time through the lineup, might be what they see.
Well, it's all hands on deck for Oregon. This is a game you have to win to keep the season going. A loss and it comes to an end for Missy Lombardi and the Ducks. Final season in the Pac-12. Sooners trying to advance to host next weekend in the Supers against the winner, the Tallahassee Regional. And if that turns out to be Florida State, a rematch of last year's championship series in Oklahoma City. If you think this place is loud this weekend, get your popcorn ready. 0-2 to Parker. Did not offer. Smokey Edge, our home plate umpire. Check the appeal down to third. Jill Poole.
You see that screwball off the plate. You'll see Spencer throw that a lot to a lefty batter. So if you're making many adjustments here, if you're Parker, expect to see that. Anything that comes in the zone, send it opposite side of the field.
High and tight. 3-2. Cut on and miss, and a massive strikeout for the freshman.
And a beautiful job by Spencer. Does not throw the changeup often, but brings it into an important hitter, Parker. Good power hitter that you have to bring a changeup with. Change speeds on her. Up in the zone, you saw Parker kind of identify it. Felt like she had to swing at it. Spencer gets her. Great out. It's a great way to come into a game and really introduce yourself into the circle and get one of the more productive hitters in this lineup out with a strikeout.
Jada Coleman brought home Avery Hodge. A one-out run scoring double. Tiare Jennings struck out her first time up. Well, in a weird sense, you feel like if Oregon could escape this frame again, giving up just one run, that's a win.
Absolutely. I mean, shows a lot of fight. Again, bases loaded in inning one. Your defense, their ability to get out of inning one and bases loaded with one run scored on a sac fly, not a solid hit, scored a run for OU.
Remember the win blowing harder than ever towards right field. It did push that last fly ball by Kauf much deeper than what we originally thought off the bat. And Jennings aboard. Third walk issued by Oregon pitching. Coleman at second, Jennings at first base. 2 outs for Cassidy Pickering. Pickering had the sac fly we just referenced. Great catch and a play made by Kai Lushar in left field. On the inside corner, 0-2.
Spencer getting ahead again. Not afraid to attack the zone. The best thing she can do here is to get ahead, and she's doing it. She's doing a great job. That's how she got the K against Parker. And now Pickering is forced to have to start fouling pitches off she doesn't like, and because of that, Spencer can now throw that screwball curveball combo a little bit further off the plate. She can bring a rise ball in. She can bring her changeup in a little bit more often. But now she can start expanding the zone her own way.
Oh, that was close. Spencer wanted that one.
I wanted that one. That pitch looked awful good for an 0-2 pitch right on the corner. Good movement. All it has to do is have a small part of the ball cut that corner. I think it did.
Kauf framed it beautifully, popped up foul territory. Kauf will make the play. Down to one knee to make the catch. 2-0 our score, and Jada Coleman.
She had a solid line drive into the outfield with a great battle from Avery Hodge, who found a way to get on base and found a way to score.
Oklahoma leading Oregon. Sooners trying to four-peat this year. 3 straight national championships have been won. Head coach Patty Gasso and this talented 10-member senior class. Ginny Ritter, Roy Philpott, and Val Wong lead it off for the Ducks. 4, 5, and 6 in this second inning. Ducks against Sooner pitching so far. 8 total innings. They have been retired in order 5 times. Goes back to yesterday's matchup in the 6-3 OU victory. 6-1 late. Only early action for the Ducks. That homer by Ariel Carlson. Maxwell goes out. 3 straight hits. Oregon comes back. Eventually had the potential tying run in the on-deck circle. Then Maxwell came back into the circle, and it was lights out in the daytime.
Yeah, Maxwell was she was solid. And I think, you know, I think bias as a pitcher, but sometimes I'm just a believer of finishing your game, and especially when you're feeling good. I'm a believer in this scenario too. And
swatted to third, and there's Brito. My goodness.
And such a line drive here, just a bullet going down the line. Brito. Are you serious? What a catch. That could have gone down the line, could have been a double. Brito gets a glove on it.
I mean, that was a nonchalant toss afterwards. Hey, we got
No big
this.
deal.
We fired over to second. We're here. Paige Sinicki,
Just another
that
day.
play last night that we referenced, with the bases loaded, I believe, and it was Boone that just drilled a shot right to her, and she had to go full extension to make that play. SportsCenter top 10 was number 4 this morning. Worthy of that, and I think Alyssa Brito, the Oregon transfer, perhaps could pop up on that list tomorrow. Wow. Two balls and a strike to Katie Flannery.
It's kind of nice as a pitcher when you have defense that makes plays like that. Gives you a little bit of confidence to attack the zone, because even when a batter hits it hard, players are going to make plays like that.
How about Nicole May? 2 strikeouts so far today. Make it 3.
May's been getting the Ducks chasing on this off speed that just falls low in the zone. They have not been able to identify it so far here in these first 5 batters. When she's thrown it, they've chased it. Really, it's not a strike. So if you can identify it, you can lay off of it. The hard part is just being able to identify it. It's got good tight spin. It looks like it's coming in a lot harder and a lot higher.
Oklahoma at 51-6 coming into this game. 51 wins already. Won the Big 12 championship, the tournament victory against Texas. 2-1 the count to Daniel. Alyssa started her career at Loyola Marymount. 13-team All Pac-12. 2-time All West Coast Conference during her time at Loyola. Popped up, foul territory. Who wants it? And the catch made by Sanders, Sydney Sanders. Now the wind probably wreaked havoc on that pop-up.
A lot of defenders looking around before Sydney Sanders gets her glove on this one, but keeps it in the glove and gets out number 3.
In order for a second team that has punched its ticket to next weekend's Super Regional round, Alabama Crimson Tide head coach Pat Murphy finding their way in their Tuscaloosa Regional, a victory against Southeastern Louisiana. Texas, we told you earlier, also the #1 national seed, will be there next weekend. OU with a win in this game will make it as well. Ducks have to win twice today to upset the Sooners. Brito will lead things off. Important to note, in addition to all of that, Omaha on the verge of winning the Columbia Regional. 1-0 lead currently against Mizzou in the 7th. And that would eliminate the Tigers. What a story that will be. Fly ball right field. And going back at the track. Grab will be made cleanly by Bao Wong. You looked at me on that foul ball that Sanders caught, and I said the wind could have been a factor. I think you're thinking it wasn't the wind, maybe some backspin, and hey, let's just play that one better.
I think it was backspin. I think there was confusion on who might catch it.
Right. I would agree with that.
And then I think it traveled a little bit further than expected, and I think it was absolutely Sydney Sanders' ball. I think their probably win might have fallen in like top 10 of factors.
Just double checking all my bases.
Top 10.
Your opinion is very important.
Top 10. I just know how much you like the weather.
Did mention I'm kind of a weather nerd.
How's the wind look today?
19 miles an hour currently, gusting higher. 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot. We asked that of Kelly Maxwell yesterday after the game. What was it like in the circle? How did it feel? The environment, all the different things. And she could have gone any direction she wanted to with that question. By design, it was open-ended. She said it was hot.
It was hot.
I got to take the cold plunge like now. It's even warmer, toastier so far today.
Heat'll keep you loose, though. Makes your ball move better sometimes if your arm's loose. Seeing some good movement out of Spencer.
Hansen hitting .420. I want to get to the stands. That moment last year against Clemson in the postseason. Over Marita Hines, 7-4, last out, 7th inning, 2 on, had to have it. Hansen out of the ballpark. What a scene that was.
I can replay that almost entire at bat as if it was like yesterday.
Fly ball shallow right field. Wong has a track and an out, her second. Here it was.
Clemson had this game won.
Had it won.
It was crazy. This is the most clutch moment that I can remember in recent history. To me, Kenzie Hansen, like, that is the moment in all the times that she's been successful that will go down in my mind as her most successful moment.
7-4, 2 outs, the unthinkable. So many different ways. Riley Boone.
And keep in mind, like, that was a time when people were not beating Oklahoma, you know, like, and that was only would have been their first loss in that it would super. So they could have conceivably come back and won the next game, but
Clemson had last year's Player of the Year, Valerie Cagle.
Yep.
Brand new program under Coach Rittman. I just remember it so because I had all my friends were texting me about it because I graduated from Clemson. Everybody's watching. Are they going to do this? Remember, OU lost 1 game last season. 1 game. That was it.
To steal one would have been historic. Like, it would have been a big deal.
And then Hansen said, not today.
God, down to the last pitch.
That's why we love it, right?
Absolutely.
That's why we love it.
Those are the moments as pitchers you want back. I bet Val Cagle did not forget that moment. It's the wrong side of history you don't want to be on. As pitchers, you remember those moments.
It's like what we talk about with coaches. Sometimes you remember the tough losses better than the incredible wins. How about this frame for Taylor Spencer? Only the second time the Sooners have gone 3 up, 3 down in this regional. Missy Lombardi joins us next. Now joined by the head coach at Oregon, Missy Lombardi. And Coach, your perspective so far and what Taylor Spencer has done in the circle, maybe settling things down a little bit.
Yes, she's settling down. She's mixing. She's working ahead and allowing her pitches to work. She looks good.
Coach, offensively, you're facing Nicole May in the circle. You're getting near the bottom of the lineup here. What do you need to see from your offense to really attack her pitches?
They just got to get their timing and just trust their plans. Just don't go away from your plan. Trust your plan. These guys are going to get there. I feel it.
Coach, appreciate the time.
All right,
Best of luck.
Yep.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. You mentioned the bottom portion of the Ducks batting order coming up. That really has dictated Oregon's fortune so far in Norman. Game 1 win, the run rule victory against Boston University. 5 through 9, 6 for 11, 6 total hits in that win. And then yesterday against BU again, bottom of the order, creating the bulk of the damage. Here's KK Humphreys against Nicole May and a first pitch strike. May has been perfect so far in this game. They've scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. And then a 1-2-3 frame in the top of the 3rd.
I think the hard part about being perfect for this offense is that you don't have time to adjust, right? So they're on 7, 8, 9 here just in the 3rd inning. When you look at the OU lineup, they're now going to be 3rd time through the lineup here in the 4th, the next time they get through. So this is a Oregon lineup that still has yet to be 2nd time through the lineup. So adjustments are slower to be made, and that's the hard part when you talk about sticking to a plan and staying to a plan. You just have less chances to really make adjustments.
2-hopper to 3rd. Brito. 1 away. Well, to our friends in Columbia, Missouri, new life for Larissa Anderson and the Tigers out of the SEC. Some drama in the 7th inning against Omaha, right?
Yeah, thanks to Alex Hunold. Home run to right center to put them up. 2-run home run, 3-1. Cameron Meyer, the Omaha pitcher. The real deal. Put them in that regional final. Doesn't sound like anybody in the region has been able to figure her out. Arnold has been able to put Missouri up on top. If they can hold that, they're going to force, and if necessary.
Fly ball down the right field line and slicing into foul territory. Riley Boone, how much fun has she been to watch? Seeing her up to bat in the outfield.
She's a gamer, no doubt about it.
Taya Bird launching one to deep left field, going back, and it's gone. Here come the Ducks. 3rd of the season and the 2nd here in Norman this weekend.
Taya Bird's at-bats have been a thing to watch this regional, just not afraid when she goes up to attack the zone. That's what we've seen here. This pitch elevated and inside, and she sees it and turns on it, immediately knowing this one has the height and the distance. Out of the park. Close ball game here, another run. Breaking it open a little bit for Oregon. That should be a moment for this team, as Coach Melissa Lombardi says, I trust the plan. They're going to get there. I trust it.
That was into the wind.
Into the wind, weatherman. That's right.
Fly ball center field. Jada Coleman. For out number 2, Paige Sinicki retired.
Well, and this is where, when you think about the pitching staff for Oregon, like the value of it. Spencer comes in, she limits what Oklahoma has done, right? So if you have a staff that goes deep, that can really work 1 time through the lineup or 1.5 times through that lineup, whatever it is that limits what this Oklahoma offense can do to keep them off balance, that's what you need to do.
So the shift back in play for the top of the Oregon batting order as Jada Coleman comes in from center field. 5 infielders with no one again in right field. Riley Boone shifts to the center of the OU logo in center.
And the reason they can do that is if you look at the hitting spray for Luchard, she does not hit it to right field. So the comfort of being able to do that, obviously, if she's able to lift that to right field and it rolls all the way to the fence.
It's a run.
It's a home run, right? An inside the park home run. But she just does not do it, has not done it all year long. So because of that, the comfort of being able to move that outfielder in, it's just kind of a waste of space of a defender to be able to leave her out there. You're better off covering more space in that infield, be able to take away some of her speed, cover some more of that range.
She expected to see this shift this weekend. She saw it against 3 teams in Pac-12 play, and she indicated to us her confidence high. Working against it, it's not something that rattles her whatsoever.
Well, Melissa Lombardi said the same thing. She identifies it and it doesn't scare her, not afraid of it. She can identify it and know how to kind of get around it. There's still holes there. The wide gap to me in left center. She can lift it over this infield.
We're talking about a player that led the Pac-12 in steals this year, so you know the speed is there. Off the glove of Brito, and that's an infield hit. Well, the second of the game for the Ducks. Here at the top of the order, and the all Pac-12 center fielder coming up next.
When in the end you hit it hard enough, you put it in play, good things can happen. This one hit kind of in that 5-6 hole. You hit it hard enough that way, it's either going to get through, you get a glove on it. Brito tries, just bounces away. She doesn't get a glove on it, gets through the infield, hit anyway.
The wheels start turning a little bit more for Oklahoma. Lead has been cut in half. Your best hitter up to bat with your fastest player standing at first, and 2 outs.
And this may be the most important person in your lineup. Somebody who has been so effective, so consistent for you. Now the second time they're seeing May. Bouchard making her adjustments.
Talked this weekend about Carlson's numbers. Doubles, homers, and stolen bases. 15 or more in all 3 categories. Only player in the country to achieve that this year. She has homered in this series through the gap into left field, and that's a hit. And over in left, Pickering dropped it for a moment. That allows Bouchard to race to third.
Great heads up. You have to take advantage. You have to see that stuff and know if you have speed. If an outfielder, if Pickering is going to drop this, she's going to bobble it, and you've got speed like Bouchard has, you've got to allow yourself to take that base. And you can see Bouchard eyes on that ball the entire time. It gets past Pickering. She's hustling all the way to third. She's now 60 feet away from scoring. Just a 1-run ball game here.
So a hit, and the E7 puts Bouchard at third. A massive moment now for the Ducks. They bought those Ducks on the way down to Norman. They are brand new to that Oregon dugout, we were told. Saw them pretty often late yesterday against OU. Brought them some luck in that 7th inning when they were down 6-1. They made it 6-3. And Patty Gasso in the circle talking with Nicole May. Important to note 2 outs here, Jenny. So world not ending whatsoever for Oklahoma, but a pretty big moment coming up.
Well, and I think that's what you have to think about. There's 2 outs. Don't stress. Like, that is the moment when, from a defensive standpoint, that you have to really kind of be in that mindset. That don't make it a bigger deal than it is. You just work to get that last out and focus on that. But if you're Oregon, I mean, this is your moment. You made adjustments. This is a good hitting team. We saw what they did to Carly Keeney yesterday. As soon as they took Maxwell out of the game, they put 3 hits together and fast.
And McAuliffe, the batter, squares the bunt. Runner takes off from first. Throw cut off short of the bag, and now 2 in scoring position.
Boy, that was gutsy. 2 outs. I think you just go take the out right there.
Ball was out of the zone. Kalp has hit the ball very hard to right field in this series, including a home run. Serves it there this time. We're tied at 2. Here comes the throw home, and the tag in time. What a toss by Boone.
Boone couldn't have made a better throw, but Kalp, how about this? A great hit to the right side of the field. The run scores easily, but the throw from Boone right on target to save the extra run, and the score stays tied.
As in the last 2 weeks, you got 4 on this roster all that have played very well so far this weekend.
And another OU player, Jocelyn Allo, will be playing, guest playing, AUX.
Now, what a moment as we went to break. Oregon has battled back to tie it. Could have grabbed the lead, and then Riley Boone happened in right field. What a toss, what a tag. And the Sooners back up to bat in a brand new game in the top of the fourth. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott, and leading off for OU is Sydney Sanders. Pops it up. Who wants it? Carlson does. How about the job Taylor Spencer has done? We mentioned it to Missy Lombardi moments ago, but she has stabilized this game and given her team a chance as a first-year player.
I agree. I think that her limiting the last couple innings, 1, 2, 3, I think that's been huge. The movement that she's put in, and the idea is give a couple good innings. That's what this Oregon pitching staff has to do. She's done her job so well. Must win. Couple outs here at the bottom of the lineup.
Hodge had the epic AB her first time up. It went 13 pitches deep. She was hit by a pitch and brought home by Jada Coleman with a double. I can see you in the circle, and that happening with you at Michigan. And I'm guessing you got annoyed. Like, they're fouling off pitch after pitch. I mean, at some point, like, because you're not going to give in.
You don't know me that well, and you know that about me.
I know that about you.
But we met 3 days ago, and you know I'd be annoyed if that happened, because that's absolutely the truth.
I mean, I'm guessing, too, the glove goes over the mouth at some point just so nobody can see what was being said.
There's a level of competitiveness that you should have between a pitcher and a hitter, that when this happens, you should want to be so competitive that matters more. Winning a battle of foul balls matters more than winning the game. And that's exactly how I was, 100%. I'm going to throw a better pitch to beat the batter. I don't even care if I win the ball game.
That is my favorite comment I have heard calling softball ever.
I'm not walking you. Not hitting. You're not getting a hit.
It's more important than winning the game in that moment.
Pride can beat you sometimes too, because you bring a pitch over the plate too often because you don't want to lose the battle either. Got to be careful on that one.
Hodge to left field. Luchar, an easy play. All of a sudden, you start looking down at the scorebook, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row set down by Taylor Spencer.
Yeah, 2 huge outs there. Now you got the top of the lineup. Spencer, this is the last batter, Coleman, that Spencer has not seen yet. So again, when you're talking about another must-win battle, you've got to win Coleman here. And then you focus on Parker, who will be the first time that a batter has seen you twice. And you've got to start thinking then about this pitching staff for Oregon. If they start squaring up better on what Spencer's throwing, think about your bullpen, think about your staff. What do you do next in this situation?
And excuse me, swing tap to short. Sinicki. Save!
That was an absolute hustle from Jada Coleman.
3 for 3 today for Jada here at Loves Field.
First of all, a kind of a protection swing there, but she put everything she had into hustling down that line. Look at how she stretched out to get that foot on that bag. If she didn't do that, I don't think she would have been safe on that call. She finds a way to get herself safe. Maybe a little dangerous. She stretches like that again. It's pulled muscle territory. She legged that one out.
First sign of trouble on any level for Taylor Spencer. And at least 2.5 frames. So now Missy Lombardi with an important message in the circle. Now in a tie game.
And think about it. This is full time through the lineup for Spencer. Ella Parker, the first batter that will be seeing Spencer for the second time. To me, this is the game of chess that you look at and you say, okay, this is your evaluation point. You go and you look, and Ella Parker, I mean, even when she doesn't see you, and this is a new batter, she's a heck of a hitter, so you have to be careful anyway, and you've got to run her on base with her. You can't let her go yard. You can't let her see an elevated pitch that she can send out of the park.
Jada Coleman has 3 of Oklahoma's 4 hits today, and a first pitch strike to the freshman Ella Parker. Talking with her this week, Ella told us, keep it simple. My strategy, that's what it was in the Big 12 tournament, where she was named the MVP. See Coleman, what she has done so far this weekend. She's the real MVP so far. 0-2.
2 great pitches. Spencer has a great screwball with great movement that all she has to do is just cut the corner of that outside part of the plate. Really great cut, good spin on it right now. You can see how she worked the ladder on that pitch. Parker has been patient enough not to want to swing at that outside pitch, but now he's going to have to protect, really looking on something in. Spencer stayed out almost exclusively. So if I'm Parker now and I'm making adjustments, that's where I'm looking. Gotta look to drive something. If she brings something in, that's where you send it.
And that hitter grazed the elbow on the way by. Runners at first and second. Second time today a Sooner has been hit by an Oregon pitch.
Start getting in dangerous territory. 2 long ball hitters here.
Sooners without a hit in 4 tries, the runner in scoring position. Coleman and Parker aboard. Two and 0.
Good pitch there in the zone. Spencer has been great and not being afraid to attack, but is behind in the count. So if you're Jennings, this is a good hitter's count.
2-2.
Gutsy by Spencer. 2-1 count, going rise ball. Jennings, again, knowing it's a hitter's count, looking maybe to go and attack a pitch, expecting it to be a strike in the zone, and she goes up and out of the zone.
Big pitch here on the way and outside. Does she dare challenge Tiare Jennings here? 21 home runs this season, 94 for her career. Wind blowing out. Fly ball towards the gap, against the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes Parker, and the throw will not be made. Retreating Parker back to third. OU back in front, 3-2.
It was a good battle, but this pitch on the outside corner, not enough movement to cut across. Jennings just does a really good job sending this one deep off the wall. Takes a good hop off of the wall to allow Wong to get it in quick enough. The 2 runs are not able to score. And a good moment here for the Sooners to plate another one. First and third situation. The offense really starting to come alive again. We've seen this. The 3rd time through the lineup is really where the Sooners are able to start connecting.
Coach Lombardi will make her 2nd change today as Morgan Scott steps in, and she had a lengthy conversation with Taylor Spencer before entering the circle. This OU crowd loving every moment of that exchange.
And you almost go back and again think about the scenario of, you know, with Spencer in 2 batters too long. You know, like when you really go down and break down the analytics of like how Oklahoma, when you watch these last couple games that they've had, they have just gotten stronger every time through the lineup. So does it make sense when you are a pitching staff that pitches by committee? Do you really go and work through a scenario where you should just every time you're facing the next time through the lineup, you just switch it out? Because in this scenario, to me, like I almost would have switched her out. And she was throwing well, don't get me wrong. Like she was throwing well, and that's one of those things where you're like, well, she could have just kept throwing well. And if you switch somebody out, it doesn't mean that the next pitcher is going to throw well. But in this scenario, Oklahoma is just so good at making adjustments. You almost want to switch a pitcher out just to keep their timing off.
Senior Morgan Scott, 2-time Southern Conference Pitcher of the Year at UNC Greensboro. Now at Oregon. Native of Irmo, South Carolina. What a moment for her in the postseason against Cassidy Pickering. Inside out swing, popped up, fair territory. Sinicki has it. And the side retired. Oklahoma back in front. Tiare Jennings, run scoring single as we talk to Patty Gasso next. Leading the Oregon Ducks with Jenny Ritter. I'm Roy Philpott. We're joined now by the Hall of Fame head coach, year number 30 in Norman, Patty Gasso. And Coach, from your perspective, this has been an entertaining game. What are you focused on right now in this 1-run lead?
Well, I feel like we're doing a good job at the plate. Nicole May had a little bit of a rough inning, but I love what she's been looking like. I loved how we came back and answered their run. So this is exactly what I would expect from Oregon, regardless if they're on the if game or they're not. They're just scrappy and hardworking, and that's what we're up against.
Coach, you're getting some runners on, but you've left 7 on. How do you want to go and attack this change in pitchers?
I think it's tricky, but we know what we need to do. That's the thing. I think sometimes our swings, we're trying to get something done too big with a pitch that doesn't warrant it. So we've been leaving runners on base a lot, but it just means we're on base a lot, which is a good thing. So we don't focus on that. We just focus on having good quality at bats.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the hospitality this weekend. Best of luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
Patty Gasso joining us here. 3-2 our score, bottom of the 4th inning. And the Ducks coming back up to bat after Tiare Jennings tied it, or rather reestablished the lead for OU. And you can feel the tension in this brand new facility. It's been kind of back and forth. Wong will lead it off. 4, 5, and 6 for the Ducks. And what you would expect this month, and with 2 teams, what's left of the Power 5, these outstanding student athletes, it has been a fun trip so far. Nicole May in the circle. She got the start. And Wong takes up and away for ball 2. Maybe the big story of the day so far is Omaha in 3 outs of advancing to the Supers. Mizzou comes roaring back in Columbia. Winner take all. Game 7 coming up later today. Texas has punched its ticket to the Supers. Bama has done the same thing. Sooners a win away from joining their rivals. 2-2.
Keeping May here in this situation, I think, is a good opportunity for her to kind of keep fighting through. She gave up 2 runs there in the 3rd inning. Tight ball game. When you're talking about the Sooners and kind of how they need to win battles as they work through this postseason, as they continue through it, they've got to have a pitching staff that can kind of work through close games. Because you and I talked about it. Like in my scenario in this game, I would have just thrown Kelly Maxwell and said, hey, Oregon has not figured out Kelly Maxwell. Throw her in there, let her mow through them. Assuming that's how it happens and assuming the Ducks don't adjust. I mean, there's a lot of factors. But let them mow through it and let Oklahoma go and win a ball game there. To me, that would be the best strategy. But you need a pitching staff to really work through more than just Kelly Maxwell winning this ball game.
Right.
May here in this scenario, this is a close ball game. You need somebody to really work through tight ball games.
Wong strikes out.
And to that point, to get a strikeout like that, to come back and answer when you've given up a home run from Bird, to give up another run, to tie the ball game up, to see your team fight back and answer back with a strikeout and get stronger, that's what you want your staff to do. You want somebody to continue to fight. So I think smart decision. You've got to think ahead, but also fight in the present moment. It's a really kind of hard balance that you have to do, especially if you're Patty Gasso.
May with the lead again, 4 strikeouts and looking sharp in this frame. Remember, her 21st appearance in the postseason. Now as a senior with this start today, 9-2 record there in 67 innings. She's averaging a strikeout per frame. You put her in the circle and normally outstanding outcomes are to follow.
Great off speed there. And I think 4th inning, as you get here later in the innings, even last night, I thought that Oregon kind of stalled out in the game against Boston University. I felt like against Maxwell in the Oklahoma game, that's where the bats kind of got a little bit cold with Oregon. Another swing through here, another strikeout. Sometimes in these later parts of the innings, the adjustments or the departure from the game plan gets away from the Ducks. Another great pitch lower in the zone. Off speed from May. Sticking with the game plan and making the adjustments is important for the Ducks, but sometimes you see them go away from it and have less of a good production.
That's a fair ball inside the right field line. Daniel slides in at second, tying run in scoring position with 2 outs.
And a better approach from Daniel here. Popped up to first base. Her last at bat, this one just driving down the line, turning on it well in the inside corner. And swinging early on in the count. And that to me is another example of sticking to a game plan and having a better approach than Wong and Flannery ahead of her, is not working the count, not swinging through pitches that maybe weren't as good, and then being a subject of, or a victim, I should say, of an off speed that's lower in the zone that you're chasing at. You're going and you're attacking early on in the count. I think
Pinch runner is Reagan Legg, now standing at second, Jenny, excuse me, and she represents the tying run.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I think the Ducks should really take a look at that and say, look, attack early on in the count. Go and attack some of the pitches that May looks to bring in early to bring that first pitch strike. Might be the best pitch you see.
What a moment for KK Humphreys, low and away for ball 1. Four of the 5 Oregon hits have come with 2 outs today. Humphreys, the senior, Cal State Fullerton transfer, 2-0. Taya Bird in the on-deck circle. She hit the home run that got Oregon on the board today. That came in the third.
You talk about those must-get outs on the Oregon side for the Oregon pitching staff. This is one for Nicole May. You got somebody that hit one out on you on the on-deck circle, and could be that tying run if she does it again. Excuse me, the go-ahead run if she does it again. Or if Humphreys gets on base in that scenario, put a couple ahead. You really want to work to get this out here, get out of the inning.
Nicole May strikes out the side, and Daniel, the 2-out double, ends up being stranded at second.
May getting stronger as she goes with these off speeds lower in the zone, getting these ducks to swing through each pitch, and goes up in the zone for the third string through and striking out the side.
To the list, to the Supers next weekend, joining Bama and Texas. Congratulations to the Aggies, as Alyssa Brito will lead things off for OU. 5, 6, and 7. Brito, Hansen, and Riley Boone. Morgan Scott in the circle, the third Oregon pitcher of the afternoon. No real surprises so far as we look at some of the scores around America.
None yet. Seen some good close games though.
Brito smokes this one to straightaway center. And Carlson has it.
Good swing through there. Bit of long out. Carlson takes care of it. Go back to what Patty Gasso said, just talking about leaving runners on base, and I kind of appreciate that she says we're not focused on that and celebrating kind of the fact that, like, hey, we're getting runners on, and not allowing the fact that leaving them on is becoming a thing, you know, because it's about having shorter swings and really being short to the ball and finding a way to get them in. But sometimes just talking about having too many runners on and not getting fixated too much on a big swing and not getting them in becomes too much pressure and pressing too much. And instead, she's just kind of celebrating the fact that, hey, we're getting a lot on. Let's not stress about the fact that we're leaving 7 on, because we're getting them on. At this point, though, close game. Not looking for the big swing, just looking to keep it short to the ball. It's good use of adjustment here, but Oregon's doing the right thing to me to just switch pitchers up, keep them off balance.
Up the middle and smacked down by Scott. Quickly over to first for the second out.
It's a good reactive moment. Otherwise, that one gets into the outfield.
You could see the deep breath there, and then climbing right back in the circle. That ball was squared up quite nicely. Riley Boone, arguably with the biggest play of this game out in right field, throwing out the runner. Brilliant throw home. Would have given Oregon the lead at the time. Since then, OU has come back to reclaim the advantage.
And you think about it, this score stays the way it is. That's going to be the difference of the game, right? You got to have big time plays. But at the same time, you know, I think about sending the runner, you have to, when you get runners on base, you have to be aggressive. And I think you have a big time hit coming through. You've got speed on the base path. If you're Oregon, you've got to try to score them. Hope the throw's off. Hope it's light. And see, this was the play here, and the throw perfectly placed. You can see the throw, Carlson sliding in. She was dead out. Not a close play.
Down the left field line and slicing foul. Remember our conversation with Coach Gasso. Really simple, complicated question, if you will. What's the one player or two on this roster right now, Coach, that, you know, doesn't get the pub that they deserve? And she said, well, everybody here gets a lot of attention. And
Yeah.
she said, but if there's one, it would be this hitter in Riley Boone. Juice that gets us going, quote unquote. I think we've seen that come to fruition again this weekend in this Norman Regional.
I think she's a crowd favorite. She certainly gets it done. I always kind of look at the number 9 hitter in this sport as kind of like the 6th man in basketball. I don't really know why I look at the comparison in that way, but there's so much value in the bottom of that lineup when you have a really good number 9 hitter as being such a contributing factor in so many ways. And they're kind of a secret weapon in a lot of ways, especially when you have somebody like Boone. Over 400 batting average.
Up the middle. That average goes up after that swing.
Telling you, crowd favorite. She finds a way to get on. This pitch is low in the zone, but she looks to attack it, grounds it right up through the middle. You get yourself on first base, a 2-out rally. I should mention, obviously, Riley Boone not in the 9 spot today. Has primarily been in the 9 spot.
Sydney Sanders 0 for 2. 255. Batting 8th. Sooners now have out-hit Oregon 6-5. More importantly, a 1-run lead where it counts the most. Winner of this regional matches up with the winner of the Tallahassee regional. Potential rematch next weekend here against Florida State, the championship series last year in OKC. Ducks need a win to keep their season alive. Force a Game 7 later today back here at Loves Field. Post call inside, 2-2.
Not a bad miss on the inside corner. Scott's done a good job getting ahead on the count. Bottom of the lineup here between Sanders and Hodge. Again, 2 outs you want to get. Batting averages below 300. Something you can't normally say about this Oklahoma lineup. But anywhere you can find a chance to just get outs, you want to take them. Sanders grounded out to third, flew out to right field.
Ball was strategically hidden after that young fan retrieved it. The old hidden ball trick. Not giving that one back. Tucked
don't
away
see it.
nicely.
I don't see it.
Blends in with all of those fluorescent towels that help keep you cool around the neck. He used one of those yesterday here in the booth.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're on a mission to find that ball.
Can't help him.
Turn the other way. Nub foul territory. Daniel tried to race to get over there. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Oh, and here comes the conversation. There it is. We've been busted.
We found her.
We've been busted.
Let her keep it. That's a tough job.
That's a tough job. That's like
a
the
tough
parking
job.
attendant person.
Yep.
God bless you all.
I carry a bag full of softballs just to hand them out every time I see somebody take one.
Good battle here. Morgan Scott.
Great
We
battle.
see you.
You have to find a way to win these battles. This one goes to Morgan Scott up in the zone. Gets Sydney Sanders swinging. Out number 3.
Oklahoma Sooners, you talk about the dynasty. It started back in 2000. That was championship number 1. The second 13 years later. And then here comes a run. 2016, 17. Fast forward to 2021. The start of the trilogy. And now aiming for championship number 4 after last year's win against Florida State. Legendary head coach Patty Gasso, 7 national titles in search of the 8th, and perhaps on her way to the Supers, or in her Oklahoma Sooners program, they can hold on here against the Oregon Ducks.
And I think, you know, whether you're an Oklahoma fan or not, the feat to win 3 in a row, feat to win 2 in a row, feat to win 1, but 3 in a row is hard to do. The expectations, the distractions, the pressure, the ability to do it is phenomenal. Says a lot about the athletes on this team, the 10 seniors that just want to be challenged for everything that they do. Patty Gasso talks about it, that they just make everything a challenge. They want to be challenged.
Riley Boone, one of those seniors. Incredible in right field this weekend.
I kind of love when she said they're kind of just waiting for somebody to say, "I dare you." You know, they just,
How about
even
that?
a practice.
May can't believe it. She had turned around. That was another strikeout, potentially her 7th. Instead, it's 2-2.
This is a good pitch. I like it. It's a little, well, I like it. I was going to say it's a little bit
I
low,
know
but
you
it was
like it.
over the top of the knees.
Your pitching bias.
Listen, the corners of the zone has been tight. And I think it's been consistently tight. And my big thing with umpire zones is that as long as they're consistent, I think it's fair. And I think the corners of what Spencer has been throwing before Scott came in, as the ball moved off the corner of the plate, she wasn't getting the corners. And it's being consistent, though. And I give all the credit in the world to home plate umpire Smokey Eds.
Jennings at short records the first out.
You work with it. I also think home fans think the zone is huge. And every time a home pitcher throws a strike or a pitch that's near the strike zone, it's a strike. So home crowd loves every pitch that's near the strike zone.
Paige Sinicki squares to bunt, sends it backwards and foul. Sooners have not trailed in this game. It was a 2-0 lead early. Oregon rallied to tie it in the third. Had a chance to grab that lead before Riley Boone threw out Ariel Carlson trying to score. And then the Sooners back in front. Tiare Jennings single off the wall. Brought home Jada Coleman. Hot shot to third. Brito. 2 away.
Two quick outs for May, and credit to May, again, getting stronger from that third inning where she did give up those 2 runs. Striking out the side in the 4th. 2 ground outs here in the 5th. Getting stronger, getting better. Absolutely important for a pitcher in the circle.
Luchar, the hitter, 5 infielders for OU. You talk about trusting the process. The ultimate trust in this shift, in this philosophy. In a 1-run game late. And a mountain of film to back it up, and you can understand.
I know, it's funny you say that, because part of me would just love to see her turn on a pitch and see how it just rolls to right field. But the data does not prove it. I mean, knowing May too, like, she's probably not going to throw a pitch on the inside corner if you've got your infielders like this.
Slap back to May in the circle. And a very quick 1-2-3 fifth. Oklahoma with a 1-run lead. Average now above 400. She has been the spark at the top of this lineup.
Yeah, she's been solid. She got that double that scored a run. She had this protective swing that she just beat out beautifully. Found a way to get on, but you can get yourself on in that leadoff position, that leadership position, be that spark plug in the top of the lineup. Good things can happen. She's going to come up. She's on deck in this inning. Maybe a little bit of an insurance run needed here in the later parts of this game.
9-1-2. Avery Hodge climbs back in. To third, and Bird takes her time. 1 away.
You saw Hodge there talking with Coleman. You telling her a little bit about what pitches she saw? Get her ready for this at bat.
Big 12 Player of the Year a season ago was Jada from the Colony, Texas. 4 times named first team All Big 12. Back to the circle, and Scott reaches up to make the play.
Huge out there for somebody that's gone 3 for 3 today. A good hard hit ball. A high hop. Scott gets her glove on it. And 2 really quick outs here. That's a great job by the Ducks. Again, keeping this game close. You can get out of this inning unscathed. 1, 2, 3.
At the heart of the order coming up in the home half of the 6th.
Ariel Carlson, by the way, first up for the Ducks. That one swing of her bat could tie this game.
Louisiana has come back to tie Baylor 2 runs apiece. Winner take all game 7 in Columbia between Mizzou and Omaha. Games ranging deep into the night out west as well. 3 teams have punched their tickets to the Supers. Parker strikes out. And how about Morgan Scott out of the Ducks bullpen? She has been elite so far this afternoon.
Morgan Scott doing her job. 1, 2, 3 inning, finishing it with this strikeout, getting Parker out on an outside pitch. Get out of the inning. Well, Nicole May had a day in the circle, 6 Ks, screwball on the outside corner, and then a whole bunch of changeups that the Ducks were just not able to answer to. A rise ball up in the zone as well. She found a way to mix her pitches. Just 2 runs scored in the 3rd inning. Then she got stronger. 8 hits, 15 Ks in this regional. Really a stellar performance as she hustled for her team. A great day there in the circle. She kept the lead.
And look who's back. Kelly Maxwell. She has shut down Oregon in 3 career appearances against the Ducks, spanning back to last season at Oklahoma State. And those numbers tell the dominant story.
Yeah, no one better to me to put in the circle in a closer role in this scenario than somebody like Kelly Maxwell. And I said it earlier in this game, you got to have somebody that can be in a shutdown situation. The Ducks have not figured her out. This team has not figured her out. You've got to put somebody into shutdown.
I mean, that's an understatement. When you look at 31 strikeouts for Maxwell against Oregon, 0 walks.
Yep.
Again, I said it yesterday, that's not even a ratio. You can't compare something to nothing.
Right. And I feel like, you know, if you're Melissa Lombardi and the Ducks, you're thinking, we've battled in this game 3-2. We've got everything. We've stuck to this game plan. Our pitching staff has kept us in this game. This is our chance. We're going to go and we're going to attack Nicole May. This is our chance. We've got Carlson up.
Ariel Carlson, 1 pitch, 1 out. Torres now playing at first base.
I was going to say that was our best chance if we're the Ducks, because Carlson was the 1 hit that they got against Maxwell yesterday, and it was a home run. And other than that, Maxwell got stronger and stronger against the Ducks. So they have a brand new game plan, and they've essentially got 5 outs to figure it out.
And McCall inside and low. Torres, your new first baseman for the Sooners. As you look at Kauf's numbers, ripped a single into right field that tied us up at 2. New left fielder as well for the Sooners in Hannah Core. She has checked in for Pickering defensively. And with Maxwell in the circle, the Oklahoma ace. Her former team currently in control against Michigan in the Stillwater Regional. Cowgirls trying to punch their ticket to next weekend. OSU in contention to win a national championship of its own, and that's never happened. And I heard some Oklahoma fans right below us here applaud that last comment.
I'm not going to, I don't think. I think I'm going to let that one slide. At least for 5 minutes.
Alf had a home run swing and an eye-level pitch. Fouls it away. 4 homers this season, 1 this weekend. That came against OU when Maxwell departed in the 7th inning yesterday in their first meeting. Tapped past the circle, the underhand scoop, and no. And with one away, Emma Kalf finds a way to first base. Well, Maxwell did everything she could to try to get there, and it just went underneath her glove.
And a lefty, this is a little bit harder to field, that you have to kind of do a backhand. If that were Maxwell were a righty pitcher, that would have been a little bit easier for her to scoop and kind of run towards first base to make. And because of that, Kalf finds her way on. Hodge does everything she can to try to toss that.
Just the second hit for Oregon against Maxwell in these two encounters this weekend in Norman. The other a home run off the bat of Ariel Carlson. In a swing that feels like was made 2 weeks ago.
And that is ruled a single, so that is the second hit that the Ducks have gotten on Maxwell this weekend.
What's the approach here if you're Val Wong?
I think you've got to be short to the pitch. Look to just connect with the ball.
Came in to this game 5 for 9 this weekend. Today 0 for 2.
I was gonna say, you don't want to try to be long with the ball, right? You don't want to try to swing for the fences. You just want to try to drop something in. Maybe look for a line drive, not try to elevate something. Got to look for the off-speed drop that she throws as well, and you want to be able to identify it. Because if you take Maxwell and look at that off-speed drop and you don't know it's coming, it's going to be enough to get a weaker hit, especially the runner on base that you can look to double off, and that's what you don't want to do, is get something that Oklahoma can double you off on.
2-2. Important moment for the Ducks, trailing 3-2. Tying run aboard. 5 outs to work with. Tap to second. Slow roller. Underhand this time, and it's good. Hodge got it there. Productive out with 2 away in the tying run in scoring position.
And putting that runner in scoring position, it's all Wong needed to do. Something that was slow enough that would allow Kalf to get in scoring position. And Flannery, 2 Ks so far on the day.
On the outer edge.
You had to know this Ducks team prepped a little bit more for Maxwell, knowing that there was a chance they may have faced her to start this game. Set a game plan for her.
Well, she has an air about her in the circle that screams confidence.
I'm telling you, she's one of my favorite pitchers in NCAA right now. It is. It's confidence, it's control, it's ability to get outs in a multitude of different ways, strikeouts, elite movement. Right now, missing her spots. And part of the consistency, part of the ability for Maxwell to be great is her ability to have control, get outs via strikeouts because of the control that she has and the movement. If she's not hitting her spots, that's a very different thing.
Patigasso into the circle. That gives us a moment to remind you, don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals. Take you to the best live action of 7 innings live show. It's on the ESPN app. You can see every game, every enormous moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Two balls and a strike. Conversation ends quickly. Tying run in scoring position in the form of Emma Kalf. Flannery with an opportunity. 2-2. Senior versus freshman. And she went. Flannery tried to check her swing. Smokey Eds, the home plate umpire, said she did not.
Just could not hold back as Flannery, as her barrel just goes too far past that hip. She gets that K and a big K.
Punch their tickets to the Supers next weekend. Hope to end up. Congratulations. Bama, Texas, Texas A&M, and the Cowgirls. I'm sorry to report, Jenny just took out your Michigan Wolverines moments ago.
It's all right. Proud of my Wolverines.
Maize and blue.
It was a battle. It's a very good Oklahoma State Cowgirls team.
How important would it be for OU to secure an insurance run or two with Oregon having just 3 outs left?
Tell you what, a one-run ball game, way too close. And the Ducks, they're doing everything right. They're doing everything right defensively.
Smack to third. Taya Bird says hello.
A great catch here from Bird. A solid liner by Jennings, but a quick out. And again, defensively, what do you have to do to beat the offense of Oklahoma? You keep them off balance and you let your defense do the work. Maybe a little bit of luck in the sense that when they do hit the ball hard, it comes at a defender. That helps.
And we will see Taya Bird in the home half of the 7th. She did have the home run in the 3rd inning earlier today. 2 homers here in Norman this weekend. Currently scheduled to bat 3rd. 2-0 to Cassidy Pickering. Amazing to think about Oklahoma in this dynasty run this season. Jenny, the Sooners have participated in exactly 3 one-run games. 3. With 51 wins, 6 losses, only 3 games have been decided in close fashion. Sooners 1-2 in those contests.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. Part of it is I think the Sooners are not used to being in close games, and there's a lot more pressure in close games. I'm not saying that the Sooners aren't used to pressure, but when you're not used to being in close pressured games, it's hard to perform the same in close games.
First walk issued by Morgan Scott, 1 away, and Pickering standing at first. Patty Gasso electing to go to her bench for a pinch runner, and that was Hannah Court. So Court came in to replace Pickering at left field. She draws the walk. And now she will give way for a pinch runner. We've seen Maya Bland in this position multiple times this weekend.
I think so valuable to have Bland score in this scenario because I don't think the Ducks are afraid of Maxwell in the circle today. And fear is only part of it, I guess, or being fearless, I should say. You still got to get your bat on a ball, but that's half the battle, is trusting in that game plan enough to feel like you have a chance against her, where yesterday I'm not sure that that was there.
Off speed on the inner half, and that will get the call from Smokey Eds. 1-1. Tap to Bird at third, could be two. There's the turn and the throw. Draws Daniel off the base. 2 outs and Brito is aboard on the fielder's choice for Kinsey Hansen.
Keep the runner out of scoring position, though. When you're trying to push an insurance run across, when you're trying to keep an insurance run from scoring, you gotta go after that lead runner, even if you don't get the double play.
Hansen had a moment last year, came against Clemson. 0-1. Her career, of course, much deeper than that one at bat and that 3-run homer that tied it up in the 7th inning. Oklahoma this season a perfect 28-0 when leading after 6 innings. Oregon without a win when trailing after 6. Both teams with 6 hits today.
Not a bad miss on that outside corner. Scott's done a good job getting the strikes on the inside corner and just missing on that outside corner. Try to get these OU batters. Chase on the outside.
Up the middle. Flannery flips it to Sinicki for the out. And here come the Oregon Ducks. 3 outs to work with, trailing 3-2 and needing a win to keep their season alive.
Gutsy play here up the middle as it goes from Flannery to Sinicki to get that 3rd out.
The Oregon Ducks trying to force a Game 7 winner-take-all scenario. Oklahoma with 3 more outs without yielding a run will advance to their 14th straight Super Regional. Of course, longest active streak in Division I. The ace for the Sooners in the circle. And the Ducks will send 6, 7, and 8 up to bat first. Daniel, Humphreys, Taya Bird, capacity crowd on hand. And the moment of truth has arrived here in Norman with Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott. Away we go in the bottom of the 7th.
And this is the moment to me that this game should have come down to. When you talk about a game plan, when you talk about sticking to exactly what you needed to here, the pitching staff kept you in this game if you're the Ducks. This is where you want it to be. In a moment where you had a chance to win this ball game, you've got to let your bats come through here.
Daniel, 1 for 2 with a double. Oregon's final season in the Pac-12 or moving to the Big Ten next year. They have battled this weekend. They have battled after losing to OU yesterday. Ground out to second. Nine seniors on this Oregon roster, including Daniel. KK Humphreys takes outside. Oh for 2 with a strikeout. Towards third, Brito. And the Sooners an out away. Crowd on its feet at Loves Field.
2 quick outs here from Kelly Maxwell. Throwing the pitches that she likes. You can see that moment kind of sinking in for the Ducks. Being as efficient as she can in the circle, and OU feeling this moment too.
Taya Bird takes a first pitch strike.
No one better at the plate than your home run hitter, who's already had one this game. Can tie it with one swing of the bat.
Lofted, foul territory, and it gets down. And the Ducks are down to their final strike. Swung on and missed, and Oklahoma does it. The Sooners advance to the Supers next weekend back in Norman.
Kelly Maxwell shutting it down there in the bottom of the 7th. Was such a leader in that circle. OU finding a way to get it done in a close 1-run game. Credit to the Ducks, though. Stuck to their game plan. They did what they had to do to battle through this game and give it the best shot they got. And man, did they give it a shot. Just did not come through with a timely hit that put them ahead, but so interesting they made it. Credit to this pitching staff. Keep the offense off balance, and really good job by the Ducks to really make it happen and battle this far. And a phenomenal season. Great leadership by 9 seniors on this team as well.
Well, a season, and in many respects, a career come to a close for these Oregon Ducks in their senior class, as OU lives for another weekend and back to the Supers for the 14th straight time. And as Patty Gasso awaits the final handshake near home plate, one of her best friends and her former assistant coach, Missy Lombardi. You can only imagine what this exchange will feel like for both sides. And all smiles for 2 of the all-time greats here in Norman. Three to 2 our final score. Jada Coleman joins us now. And Jada, what a scene we are witnessing today, and what a performance for you with the 3 hits. What was it like down there here at Loves Field this afternoon?
Oh, Sooner Nation brought it today. I felt their energy from the start. I think that Oregon team's a really good team, and they threw out a lot of punches at us, and we just had to punch back. But it was a good day. It was a good day.
Jada, closer game, 3-2. Talk about your offense and at the top of that lineup, how you were able to just stay in the moment in a closer game, and how your team stays in the moment as well.
Yeah, I think their pitchers were doing really well with getting us inside, going outside, just kind of keeping us off balance. But I think for our team, just swinging hard, trusting the process, and trusting each other, we'll get the job done.
Jada, get some rest. Congratulations. We look forward to watching you guys next weekend in the Supers back in Norman.
Thank you.
OU does it Oklahoma does it once again. The 3-2 victory against Oregon, sweeping the Ducks in 2 games here in the Norman Regional. Jenny Ritter, final thoughts.
Two great coaches there that are just going to find their way to friendship and find their way to talk it through here.
Congratulations to the Sooners. 3-2 victory against the Oregon Ducks.